that was like nuts to me. It was like 2011. The label was doing a thing at the Ryman. I didn't even know he was going to be there or was there. And I get a tap on my shoulder and he says, "Hey, Scotty." And I turned around and it's George freaking Strait. It's like, what? I mean, it was such a cool moment.
What's up, everyone? Victoria here with PopCulture.com, and today you have no idea how so excited I am to be, one, talking to Scotty McCreery. But Scotty, this is my first in-person interview since all of this started.
Let's go.
You bookended me too, because the last time I saw you was at your event at the Ryman.
At the Ryman, yeah.
And then literally like days later we got shut down.
Yeah, I think that was the last show they had there. And then we were like the first show they had back with a few fans. So
yes.
That was crazy. That was the first night I saw people like with the elbows instead of shaking hands. And it's like, there might be something actually to this whole thing.
I know. Well, I mean, there was no way we could have even predicted that we would be where we're at now. But listen, how has your year been? First of all, it's just so good to see you face to face. I'm so excited. Scotty, how has your year been?
You know, we've adapted like everybody's had to and adjusted, and but we were still hard at work. I mean, we were making this album and writing songs and just finding new ways to do it, writing through Zoom and recording up in my little guest bedroom studio we have. Just finding ways to make it work, you know?
Yeah, so. Well, you got to do, what you got, and you managed to put an entire album together. You've got Same Truck coming out, which is such an interesting title. It was a title that made me like, I need to know the reasoning behind this. Where did that come from?
Yeah, I think Same Truck, the song, to me, it just embodies what folks need to hear right now. I mean, everybody's so focused on differences and everything. It's like, man, if we're all so much more alike than we are different. It's like if we can all build each other up instead of tear each other down, and I think we could, figure this thing out a little bit. So it was an interesting take on it too, kind of a country way of saying that, which I obviously love doing. Yeah.
Well, I went into the song thinking maybe he's talking about he has the same truck since like...
And I do.
Yeah, okay. He still does. Well, there you go. Well, you've been, let's talk about what this album means to you, because you're now married, and you know what it feels like to be a husband now, and you've been an entertainer for, 10, well, you obviously did music before you got into the public eye, but 10 years you've had so many strong fans just supporting you all the way. Like, let's talk about how that branches into this album and how this album separates itself from the others.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously huge to be able to do this for 10 years, and it's something I'm so passionate about, writing songs, country music, and getting to sing them, and people actually show up to your shows and sing along with you. If you think about it, it's really the craziest thing ever. But this album for me, I've never had the time that I had to make this album ever before. And really, since I was 15 years old, I've never had time to be at home and just kind of sit down and reflect and think about life and the important things. And I had that time in this last year. So if I'm looking for a silver lining in the COVID 2020 pandemic, for me, it was that. And spending time with my wife and hanging out, obviously awful circumstances, but that time I really think helped this album kind of come to fruition.
Well, I think there's a lot of positives that have come out of this. While yes, it has been so devastating, I've been having discussions with friends about this. Like, let's try and find the positives. And the positives are, like, I can't help but to ask, like, was your wife was she happy to have you home a little bit more?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure there were days she was like, get back on the road. But no, I think so young in our marriage too. I told her like day one when we started dating, February 7th, 2012. I was like, right. Well, she still likes to celebrate the date anniversary. I was like, we're married now. Do we really need to? Yeah. But that day I told her, I was like, look, I live a different life than 99% of people. Like, I'm not going to be home that much, and we won't see each other every day. And so she understood that, and we've made it work, obviously. But getting that time to just be together every day, and it was really a good thing for us, I think.
Yeah. Well, gosh, being in this for 10 years, you made a comment earlier, like it's a weird concept to think that people pay and they come and see me perform. Do you have moments where you just relish in that? Like, wow, like I have built a name for myself. I have fans. Like, I get to do what I love every single day. Do you just have moments?
Yeah, I think I try and keep things in perspective and realize how cool of a job I got all the time For me, I think what I'm most proud of is kind of where I came from, which was TV and Idol and all that, and I was known as the Idol kid. But now I think through the last record and hopefully through this one as well, you know, people see me as a country artist and a songwriter and a guy who has stories to tell and tells them through songs. And I think I finally established that name as opposed to just, you know, that guy you saw on TV. So.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I actually like at times forget that you were on Idol.
That.
I kid you not. Like I talked to somebody. Gosh, this was when I talked to you during the pandemic. I had mentioned that I was, you know, going to be interviewing you, and I was like, yeah, you know, I've had the privilege to talk to him a few times, and they're like, oh yeah, he was on American Idol. I was like, I honestly like forgot about that. Like to me, you've just done such a great job at establishing your name in the country music genre.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's I love this genre. I've loved it since I was a baby, and it's so cool to be a part of it and in this whole industry. And it's one big family, you know, it really is. So I love it. I'm gonna keep on doing it as long as I'll have it.
Yep. Well, listen, I want to talk about 2 songs on your album that are my absolute favorite. Right. You've got Damn Straight and It Matters to Her. Yeah. We're going to start with Damn Straight. We're going to finish strong with It Matters to Her.
Okay.
Damn Straight, let's talk about that. That to me is the epitome of like how a song can impact. Like I feel like you won't ever remember every conversation you have with someone, but a song will stand out the most. And that's kind of what that talks about.
Takes you back, yeah.
Yeah, what was the theory behind this?
Yeah, you know, well for me, a massive George Strait fan. I think if you're a country fan, you gotta love George Strait, and he's got those songs, you know, that just take you back to a certain moment in time, and like take you back to certain years or a relationship, or you think of a family member. And so when I heard this song, I was kind of freaking out a little bit. I was like, man, this is an amazing song. So wasn't sure if it was just me, so I was like, let me send it to Gabi and my friends, and they all freaked out. I was like, okay,
that's good.
Yeah, I think it's so clever and cool, and it's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Have you met George Strait?
I have. That was like nuts to me. It was like 2011. The label was doing a thing at the Ryman. I didn't even know he was gonna be there or was there, and I get a tap on my shoulder, and he says, "Hey, Scotty," and I turned around, and it's George freaking Strait. It's like, what? I mean, it was such a cool moment.
He's a legend. His song Carrying Your Love With Me is what takes me back to the 90s. I mean, I will never forget. Back when like music videos were a thing and we actually like took the time to watch them on television.
Right, yeah.
That music video, to me, it takes me back.
He's got the suitcases.
Yes, as he's walking up the auditorium.
That's right.
Oh, I love it. It Matters to Her, Scotty.
Yeah.
As a female, I have to thank you for pushing out a song like this. This song, I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with girlfriends, and we're like, it really, I think that there's a stereotype against a lot of women that it takes like this extravagant, like fancy lifestyle to impress us, and really it doesn't. It's the littlest things, and this song addresses that, and it talks about, hey, like just listening to her day, it means a lot to her.
Absolutely.
So did your wife have anything to do with this song?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I learn every day from her, and I think as guys we can get caught up in that. Well, if I take her out and I get her a nice bottle of wine and some roses, I'll be good. And it's like, man, actually, it's like you said, it's the little things around the house. It's sitting down, and she had a tough day, and you just sit there and be an ear, and you don't say anything, you just listen. And when she's not looking, you're helping out around the house with things that she might do on a normal basis, but you helped her out. I could still work at that. It's not like I totally have it mastered, but that's what I found really makes a difference kind of in our day-to-day life, me and Gabi. So wrote a song about it.
I legit sent that. I told my boyfriend, I was like, this song is this is for every man out there. You just listen to it.
There we go.
What's the biggest thing you've learned now being married?
It's a team effort, you know. It's definitely, you got to work at it every single day and communicate with each other. That's, if you ask anybody who knows me, like I'm the worst communicator in the world, so that doesn't bode too well for me. But it's got to work at it every day, but it's worth it, and it's so much fun. And going through life together as best friends, and we have a blast. So
good. Yeah. Well, now that you've got this album, same track coming out, what does the rest of the year look like for you? I know everything's still a little bit in limbo right now.
Yeah.
But I know that you've been able to do some shows, which is so nice with a limited audience. What's next for you?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be, like you said, hopefully, you know, touring around this album, playing the songs and getting it out there to folks and hoping they enjoy it. But yeah, we're starting to get played more shows and
Yeah.
more people, and hopefully we can keep that going, because that's what I love doing, is hitting the road and playing the songs.
Scotty, thank you so much for your
Great
time.
to see you again.
I know,
This
it's
is
so
awesome.
good to see you. And I have to say, listen, I grew up in Nashville. I'm like one of the unicorns. Actually,
Wow,
our camera
native.
guy that nobody can see behind the camera, he's amazing. Richard is from Nashville as well.
Oh my gosh, too.
And let me tell you something. Like, growing up with country music, I have to say, as much as it's changed over the years, not that I have any issues with that, I love various artists. One thing I love about you is that you have such a classic voice that really pays a lot of tribute to the country genre.
Thank you
And you
very
do very
much.
well.
I appreciate that more than you know. That's awesome.
I just had to tell you that. I just adore you. Scotty, it's so good to finally see you face to face.
Yes,
Hopefully we can keep
yes,
this up.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Everyone, make sure you go listen to Same Truck when it drops. For more on Scotty McCreery and your other favorite celebrities, make sure you keep it right here at popculture.com.